Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles versus Seattle Seahawks Week 13 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between different data points. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So starting with this matchup between the Eagles and the Seahawks. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data is essentially looking at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course how the special teams is doing. So all those factors kind of playing into one number, and based on all this information, the Eagles are favored pretty substantially in this game. So let's get into some reasons why. First off, offensively speaking, the Eagles are pretty much head and shoulders above the Seahawks in pretty much every offensive category, with the exception of sacks allowed. The Eagles have a better turnover ratio, so they don't turn the football over as much as the Seahawks, and they also have a significantly higher offensive score percentage, meaning that they typically score more points per drive compared to the Seahawks, who are in many ways kind of a slightly above average offense when it comes to their ability to put points on the board. But surprisingly, on top of all these other areas, the Eagles also have the better defense. Better defensive offensive score percentage, meaning that they don't allow as many points as the Seahawks do. The Eagles also create more turnovers and get more interceptions. The Eagles and the Seahawks, when it comes to sacks, are pretty much the same, pretty level. But pretty much the Eagles have the better defense. So not only do the Eagles have the better offense when it comes to just the ability to put points on the board, but they also have the better defense when it comes to the ability to prevent points from being put on the board, which I think is a major kind of factor to kind of consider in this game, because a lot of people think about the Seahawks as a defensive-heavy team, which they definitely are, but the Eagles are just that much better on defense, which is definitely a very interesting dynamic to kind of consider. Then, when you get to special teams data, punt return yardage favors the Eagles, kick return yardage favors the Seahawks, defensive punt return yardage favors the Eagles, defensive kick return yardage favors the Seahawks, field goal percentage favors the Eagles, extra point percentage favors the Seahawks, and punting average favors the Eagles. Special teams wise, I would give this to the Eagles, mainly because of that field goal percentage. As I usually tell you guys each week, field goal percentage is by far one of the more important special teams data points to kind of consider when you're talking about special teams. And the Eagles have a substantially better place kicker, which can be very beneficial when you're talking about games that might be close, or games that might be decided by 3 points, 6 points, etc. So definitely from this kind of perspective, I would say that the Eagles are also favored here. So the Eagles are favored on offense, they're favored on defense, and they're favored on special teams, which I think kind of furthers to give more proof that the Eagles are legit. Now, if the Seahawks come into this game and they whoop the Eagles and they prove everybody wrong, which could happen, because the Seahawks are the type of team with the veterans around them to kind of do something like that. But if they don't, then I think this is going to be a very good game for the Eagles to kind of solidify themselves as a very, very good football team, in terms of being considered one of the top football teams, in fact, in the NFL right now. Now when you get to some other sort of data points, so now we're shifting to essentially down and distance data, split data. Eagles offense versus Seahawks defense when it comes to completion percentage. An issue that I've continued to note that has gotten worse as the season has gone on is the completion percentage for the Eagles on first and second down. Third down is fantastic. The Eagles are pretty much the second best team when it comes to third down completion percentage in the NFL. But when it comes to first down and second down, not so much. So those are two downs and distances where I think there needs to be substantial improvement if you want to have an even better offense than you already have now. Then, of course, when you get to the Eagles or Seahawks offense versus Eagles defense when it comes to completion percentage, and in this particular area, I would give it to the Eagles when you look at first and third down. So again, this Eagles defense is pretty darn good. I mean, they have a lot of aspects to them that are very efficient. So this is definitely going to be an interesting matchup to see who comes out on top. But the Eagles defense is looking pretty good in this matchup. And then, of course, when you look at rushing down, so this is basically the ability to get first downs with the run in various downs and distances. When you look at this particular area, the Seahawks are favored on second and third down. So the Seahawks, the big thing about the Eagles offense when it comes to rushing downs is they typically do well on first down, but don't really seal the deal on second and third. So that's just kind of one thing to kind of note in this particular game when it comes to the rushing offense of the Eagles. Then, of course, when you look at the Seahawks rushing offense versus the Eagles rushing defense, the Eagles will have the advantage on first and second down, whereas the Seahawks will have the advantage on third down. So, again, the Eagles pretty much are looking pretty darn good when it comes to their ability to prevent completions and their ability to stifle the run. So this is going to be, again, I think the Eagles defense might be the one thing that kind of sticks out the most in this game. And then, of course, when you get to passing downs, Eagles offense versus Seahawks defense, and this is honestly an area where I would say it's pretty evenly matched. The Seahawks have the advantage on second down, whereas the Eagles have the advantage on third down. Again, just to reestablish this in your mind, the Eagles have one of the best third down conversion rates in the NFL, pretty much the second best third down conversion rate compared to every team in the NFL, which is a large part of their success. But they could be an even more prolific offense if they could just improve on first and second down. And I think a big part of that is that they can improve completion percentage data on those particular downs and distances, because that has been something that has gotten progressively worse as the season has gone on. So that's the one Achilles heel that I think needs to be improved upon if you want to take the offense to the next level. Then when you get to the Seahawks offense versus Eagles defense in terms of passing downs, and in this area, again, the Eagles are favored on first and third down. So the Eagles defense is looking pretty darn good in those particular situations. So this could be a very good game for the Eagles defense to kind of showcase itself. Then when we get to sack rate, Eagles offense versus Seahawks defense. In this particular area, the Seahawks are favored on second and third down. But if there are going to be sacks, it's most likely on first down. The majority of the sacks that the Eagles give up come on first down. On top of that, the majority of the sacks that the Seahawks force come on first down as well. So that's going to be the major down and distance to kind of see where things might get kind of crazy is first down. Then, of course, when you look at the Seahawks offense versus Eagles defense when it comes to sack rate as well, the Eagles are favored on first and second down. Again, pointing out the fact that this Eagles defense is going to have a lot of advantages when it comes to creating sacks, when it comes to stifling the pass, stifling the run, all those areas. I think this could end up being a dominant performance by the Eagles defense if they do what they need to do in this particular game. Then when you get to interception ratio, Eagles offense versus Seahawks defense, Eagles are favored on first and third down, whereas most of the issues come on second down. So there definitely is a chance that Carson Wentz could throw some picks on second down, but we'll see what happens ultimately. But that's the only sort of down and distance where there might be some miscommunications or issues the most. Like second down tends to be the worst down for the Eagles offense when it comes to passing. And then finally, we get to the Seahawks offense versus Eagles defense when it comes to interceptions. In this particular area, the Eagles are favored on first and third down. So pretty much the Eagles defense, again, have another advantage to kind of look at when it comes to making big plays in this game against the Seahawks offense. So overall feelings about this particular game, I think it's going to be Eagles victory. I think the biggest thing, as I keep telling you guys, is that the Eagles defense, I think, will probably make a statement in this game. They have the ability to, and I think the Eagles offense, if it keeps doing what it's doing, it's not the most efficient in certain downs and distances, but if they keep doing what they're doing, if Carson Wentz keeps making big play after big play after big play, that I think, things keep on rolling. So I expect a statement win here for the Eagles, If that doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. Then, the Seahawks definitely, this is one of those games where the Seahawks could definitely come in here and kind of prove everybody wrong and make a statement win of their own. But I just think when it comes to this game, I just want to go with the kind of safer pick in the Eagles because of all the advantages that I just showed you in the micro data and in the macro data when it comes to their defense and their offense. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.